Okay, this is the video for topic 3 for theory, treble and bass clefs. This is where you get the chance to show me how good you are at drawing. Okay, so this is how neat you can be at drawing a treble clef, which looks like this, or like this. Also known as the G clef, because you'll see this initial curly sign here wraps its way around the G line. Any note, and remember from topic 1, notes can be on the lines or in the spaces. Any note on that line is a G, so it's also known as the G clef, or the treble clef, or the swirly whirly clef, I like to call it, because it's a very nice swirly whirly sign to draw. And the bass clef. And the bass clef looks like this, also called the F clef, because of the 2 dots. These dots are either side, or above and below rather, this line, and any note on this line is the note F. So there's a little hint for when you're looking at naming notes, that any note in the bass clef on that line is an F, and any note on that line in the treble clef is a G. Okay, so let's have a look at the G clef first, the treble clef first, and how you draw it. Okay, now there's some examples here in your homework where you can draw first and you can copy by tracing, doing the dots, and then you have to draw some of your own. Just breaking it down a little bit so that you can really think about how to do one very neatly on your own. Think of the first bit, start on that line of the G line, okay, so the second line up, and I would think of doing a back to front C. It's almost an E, back to front there, okay, or a C with a little extra bit of curve in it, and then a back to front S, which goes thinner at the top, and then you come down with a J, a long J, there. So if you very, very carefully try and think about drawing those and use that as really good practice, of course you can actually do your own in the middle as well. Just use this stave on your homework to practice as many as you can. Very briefly to talk to you as well about note names. In music, each sound has a name, each pitch has a name, and it goes through the alphabet only as far as G, and then it repeats itself. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and we know that G sits on that line there. Okay, the bass clef is used for low notes. A little bit easier to draw, you can see it's got less components to it, but you do need to remember to put the dots because they're very important. I'm going to go to the join the dots exercise here. So this is a little bit actually like the start of the treble clef, because you're doing a back to front, slightly elongated C. And it's worth noting that it stops on that second line up from the bottom. Okay, so you start it on the second line from the top, you go up to the top line and curve around and back down to the second line from the bottom. And then you put the all-important 2 dots either side of the F line, or maybe you want to think of it as being in the top 2 spaces. So the bass clef is used for low notes. If you were to have a man singing, he would sing in the bass clef. A woman singing would generally sing in the treble clef. Okay, so high notes in the treble clef and low notes in the bass clef. But they both use a stave like we've looked at before of 5 lines. But you do need to make sure you can draw them and that you understand they're for high notes in the treble clef and low notes in the bass clef.